So today we'll be taking a look at a situation with a fan showing up to Rey Mysterio's house, Britt Baker's reaction to what's going on with Adam Cole, and we'll also talk about what one superstar had to say about The Miz. Let's start things off with this situation between Rey Mysterio and a fan. Fans showing up to superstars' houses. It's a very serious problem that's been around for a very long time. It's something that not only wrestlers deal with, but other celebrities as well. It wasn't that long ago where a fan tried breaking into Eminem's home, and Drake even had a suspicious figure around his home as well at one point. Even if they had no bad intention, they're just a pure fan. Something about it just feels very off and very disrespectful. You just show up at the superstar's house like it's a normal thing, like if you're expecting something. Obviously, it's so scary, especially for the wrestlers, because we all remember that dreadful situation that Sonya Deville went through last summer with a fan that arrived at her house. That's the same sort of scary situation a wrestler or any celebrity can find themselves in. Just absolutely horrific. But now, to the actual story here itself. A big Rey Mysterio fan apparently discovered Rey's address and decided to pay him a visit with a box of merchandise for him to sign. The fan was extremely lucky that Rey Mysterio didn't have him arrested on the spot because he definitely could have. But instead, Rey came out to meet the fan, signed all of the merchandise, and even posed for several pictures with the fan. The fan later posted the pictures online with the entire story and experience. So the fan was thrilled, and it obviously was a nice gesture from Rey to take the time out to acknowledge the fan and greet him with pictures and signatures. But the whole story just left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Some fans arguing the point that if you were a big fan, you would know better than to invade their privacy like that. So even though everything turned out well, it's still very unsettling and uncomfortable to just hear a story like this. Like we talked about earlier this week, former NXT champion Adam Cole could be on the move here in the next few weeks. A reason why a lot of people are talking about AEW as a possible landing spot for Adam Cole is mostly because of his girlfriend being on that roster. Currently, AEW's women's champion, Britt Baker, recently spoke with Matt Paddock of the Daily Star and discussed Adam's upcoming status in free agent and how she wouldn't be the biggest reason for him joining AEW. She had this to say: "He has got to hold down the Tuesday night, and I'll hold down the Wednesday night, right?" I think it's funny when people say he has to go to AEW because of Britt, because there are so many more people at AEW who have played a bigger role in the wrestling side of his life. People like the Young Bucks, Kenny. He was in the Bullet Club for the majority of the indie career people know him for. He has such a history in AEW that if he came here, the storylines are endless, but he's happy where he is. So if he were to jump ship and come my way, that would be awesome. But if he stays in WWE forever, then I'd be happy too, as I just want him to be happy. So Britt is absolutely right. She herself obviously plays a big role in him coming over to AEW, but Adam Cole already has so much rich history with the majority of the AEW roster that storylines and matchups would be beyond easy for AEW's creative team. So Britt wants him to be happy and make the decision that he's most happy with himself. But it seems clear that she would really love to have him on AEW with her if she could, but it's his choice. Adam Cole's next move will be something everybody speculates about for the next few weeks here, but it can honestly go either way. Like we mentioned before, Adam Cole has been very vocal about not wanting to go to the main roster and remaining in NXT. And you just take a look at what's going on over on the main roster, and it's hard to argue with that. Sure, there's been so many successful main roster talent that has come from NXT's roster, like Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Bayley, Paige, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Big E, and so much more. But at the same time, there's been a lot of great NXT superstars that go to the main roster and it feels like they're directionless from the very first week there. Like what's been done with Keith Lee, a former dual champion in NXT, just feels absolutely lost on the main roster. There was a report about their plans for NXT champion Karrion Kross, which includes the idea of him going on a big losing streak to start off his main roster career. This is also, of course, the same team that had no plans at all for someone like Bray Wyatt. So that alone lets you know what you're working with here. So when an NXT superstar says that they don't want to go to the main roster, they don't have to explain themselves. Everyone fully understands that standpoint. The main roster can be a wasteland for some NXT superstars. Not all, but for some NXT superstars. So that will play a role in Adam's negotiation as well. He doesn't seem to have that much interest in the main roster. So it basically comes down to NXT and AEW as the major two options. He's been in NXT for a few years now, did everything that he could, so does he go back for another round, or does he enter the world of AEW and explore all of those new possibilities? As of this given moment, no one knows for sure. All we can do is speculate. But given the history with AEW's talent like Britt was alluding to, AEW makes a lot of sense and could be a serious threat to steal Adam Cole away. Big E is currently on a hot streak after winning the Money in the Bank contract. Having that Money in the Bank contract gives you an extremely high chance of becoming a world champion. Lots of theories going around from the fans for who Big E will cash in on and when it will take place. Lots of fans speculate Big E could cash in during the WWE Championship match at SummerSlam. It's public information that Goldberg is only signed for 2 matches a year, so he virtually has no shot at winning the title from Lashley at SummerSlam and having a reign as champion. But fans have suggested, what if Goldberg actually wins the WWE title from Lashley, but Big E cashes it right then and there to put an end to Goldberg's 32nd title reign? That's a really popular theory going around right now, and it does make a lot of sense. Obviously, it still doesn't seem like Roman Reigns is dropping the Universal title anytime soon. So chances of Big E cashing in on the Raw champion is much higher than him cashing in on Roman Reigns. So we'll see how that Money in the Bank contract situation plays out. In other Big E related news, he was recently a guest on Sport Bible and told a backstage story on how he legitimately didn't like The Miz at all. He had this to say: "You might be surprised. He's mellowed and he's gotten older and definitely gotten better, but he was pretty insufferable when I first met him. And I've told him this, just very unpleasant to be around and very obnoxious. He would do things almost like an 8-year-old. I promise you, he legit did the 'I'm not touching you' with his finger an inch away from my face. And I like being unbothered. He's gotten better, which is why he didn't come to mind, but The Miz was fairly awful when I first met him." So a very interesting story there from Big E, who says that The Miz was legitimately obnoxious backstage, but has mellowed down with age. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.